cracking atmosphere, pouring with rain, but that's not a bad thing for Mansfield because it chucked it down at Accrington just about 5 weeks ago, and we're underway with Jamie McDonnell playing it back to Deji Oshilaja, and this third round FA Cup tie is underway as we stand here. 41 sides remain in this season's competition. By the end of the afternoon, will Stags be in the last 32? Ryan Sweeney from his own left side plays it back to Liam Roberts. First touch for the goalkeeper, who got to round 4 last year with Crystal Palace. The holders, of course, were dumped out yesterday. Sheffield United have it with the fair-haired Ben Mee, had a decade or so at Burnley. Wealth of experiences. Harrison Burrows, there's talk of him moving to Turkey in this transfer window. His ball down the line is put out by Oshilaja. We're right at the back of the Tony Curry stand here. Last time I came here, we were actually on the roof, so not quite as high as they have been here before. Here in the middle of the park is Samari. Nice looking ball out to the far side, where the new arrival, Hoover, who doesn't play sweeper by the way, he plays right back, is Samari. And a lot of touches for Sheffield United with Arblaster. Hoover again, back to Arblaster, and Ben Mee to his left. This is all just taking place in the Mansfield town half, and now advancing forward is Ben Mee. Outside him is Gustavo Harmer, former Stoke City player, tries to whip in across, closed down by Lucas Akins. Menacing, but from a distance, Sheffield United at the moment.
Yeah, I think
just wait and see what happens with this cross. Whip to the far post, nicely taken by Roberts. Danger averted.
Yeah, I was just saying, possession without purpose won't really cause Mansfield any problems. They'll be happy for Sheffield United to have the ball in front of them as long as they've got the players behind the ball. It's just any balls in behind that back line which could cause an issue. So I think Mansfield won't mind if Sheffield United have the majority of the ball. It's what Mansfield do when they actually have it.
They're sitting off, aren't they? They're 5-4-1 sitting off Mansfield Town. We can see at the moment as Mee rolls it to his left to Harrison Burrows. Spent the first part of his career with Peterborough, been here a couple of seasons now. Nice looking ball rolled forward here, and this is a nice little looking build up to Tyrese Campbell, his first touch, and now the shot from distance over Robertson, over the top, nicely whipped in there by Harmer, and it'll be a goal kick to Mansfield Town. We've played 2.5 minutes on Match Day from BBC Radio Nottingham, the last whisper it quietly, the last surviving Nottinghamshire club in the FA Cup. Notts County going out to Brackley, Forest going out on Friday night to Wrexham, both on penalties. And of course in the last round Mansfield Town winning on penalties. Roberts in front of the massed banks of the Mansfield Town stag party. Long kick downfield over Rhys Oates, and it runs all the way through to Adam Davis, who is the backup goalkeeper here to Michael Cooper, but actually is a Welsh international, so plenty of experience in goal. There's Mee to Harrison Burrows. Ball in field to Samari, holding midfielder. McDonnell goes to closing down. Ball to his right to Mark McGuinness. And now Samari. They both celebrated birthdays this week as well. 3 of the Sheffield United side had birthdays this week. Here's Ben Mee as they cross the halfway line. Samari, ball at his feet. The red and white stripes advancing forward. Nobody in the Kop, so he was spared a rendition of the Sheffield United anthem, that Greasy Chip Butty song before the start. Good challenge by Lewis Reed. Over on that far side is Samari again. And lifts it forward, lovely looking ball into the box to Harmer. Nice lay down, looking for Campbell. Sheffield United here with a chance for Danny Ings. It's blocked. And another attempt in goal, and Sheffield United asking the questions, but Deji Oshilaja got that back there with a really important block just when it looked as if it was going to open up in front of Roberts.
Yeah, you've got to say Sheffield United, they have started well, and I know we spoke about Mansfield having Sheffield United having the ball in front of Mansfield, but then we just see a great ball played in behind, and Mansfield did look a little bit open. Great defending though by Oshilaja at the end, but it was a bit last ditch, so Mansfield will just want to make sure that they got the shape right and that there's no spaces in behind.
Danny Ings just playing just off the front man. Campbell, wealth of experience of course in the Premier League, the likes of Burnley and Southampton, Liverpool, Bournemouth, still doing a job here. There's Burrows. Now Arblaster, good looking ball down the left to Burrows. There's the cutback. Nathan Mariah-Welsh, his first involvement, picks up the loose ball and then finds Rhys Oates, who's challenged on the near side. It's gone out. It'll be a Stags throw inside their own half. We've played 5 minutes, just veering off topic for a fraction of a second. Saw any number of postponements in the non-league game yesterday. I looked at your lot, John. Harrowby United match postponed, dressing room ceiling caved in.
Yeah, that is true. On Wednesday the ceiling did cave in. There was a lot of flooding, so yeah, no game at home, but it's all sorted for next weekend.
Not making light of it, but that's an unusual one, folks.
It is indeed.
It is Will Evans picking it up over on that far side, tries to link up with Fraser Blake Tracy. Ball out for a Stags throw. Game being played at a frenetic pace. Ryan Sweeney turns away from Danny Ings. Ball is cut out by Arblaster, and now Stags have it. And the referee, a shrill blast of the whistle. Gavin Ward is in charge from Surrey. Mainly been doing the Championship. He's overseen a couple of Sheffield United games this season, both defeats away at Birmingham and away at Hull. Not done Stags since a draw at Lincoln in 2018. Is Harrison Burrows seeing a lot of the ball on the left-hand side, but he's challenged by McDonnell, and now Rhys Oates galloping away on the right-hand side, looking for support in the middle. There's none there, so Oates cuts in field. He's 30 yards from goal, maybe 35, but still going, and runs into a bit of a red and white cul-de-sac, and eventually just outnumbered, and Sheffield United win it back.
Yeah, and I think that's where Oates does have to improve his game a little bit. He got a little bit isolated with his man, and then he just drove inside into bodies. He has to hold it up a little bit better and wait for people to come into play. He is so quick, so that's actually harder than it sounds, but he does need to get a little bit better at his hold-up play.
Samari laid it off to Gustavo Harmer. His pass was poor. Here's Nathan Mariah-Welsh. On this day last year, he was playing in a Hibs side that beat Motherwell 3-0 in the Scottish Premier. Played really well the last few matches. Nathan Mariah-Welsh already he's got the socks down. I know it's something I comment on every week, but you speak to a ref and they say we're all over that, but he always seems to get away with it, a bit Grealish-like. There's Ben Mee, rolls it forward, and then a chomping challenge from McDonnell, and he's left the Sheffield United man on the ground. Arblaster with a poor ball forward. It'll be a goal kick to Mansfield Town, hence the roar from the fans away to our left, to make up probably I reckon getting on for 5,000 Stags fans in a crowd of about 11 or 12,000.
Yeah, what Mansfield don't want to do, and yes, the game is important. They don't want any silly bookings and dare I say it, silly red cards that can ultimately affect the league games. I know McDonnell is a combative midfielder, and that was a strong challenge there, but it looks like he's got away with perhaps a last warning before a booking comes his way. Yeah,
and the ref called Lewis Reed over as well and had a word with him. Maybe Reed had spoken out of turn. Sheffield United's youngest ever player, Lewis Reed, in his early days here, picked when he was just 16. Roberts gets us back underway, still 0-0 on match day from BBC Radio Nottingham. Third round of the FA Cup, 8.5 minutes gone at Bramall Lane. And Sheffield United again, favoured outlet is down the left, rolled forward by Burrows. Scrappy ball finds Ben Ings, and then it's deflected away into the Stags penalty area, and Liam Roberts again with comfort can come and claim, and it remains 0-0. Last time Stags were here was for a Carabao Cup game in 2014. Lost 2-1. Alex Fisher with the Mansfield Town goal. Only won once here back in 1989, a league match. Keith Cassells with the winner. Harmer seeing a lot of the ball and trying to thread a decent looking pass through the heart of the Stags defence. Here's Mariah-Welsh going on a little bit of a run, finds Will Evans, and Evans' first touch was poor, but Sheffield United don't deal with it properly. Now Rhys Oates, and Oates opened up for him, he'll cut it! Tipped over the top by Adam Davis. First sight of goal from Rhys Oates, and he wasn't too far away.
And that is exactly what Mansfield need to do. When they do have the ball, they need to attack with purpose, and there needs to be an end product there. Oates did really, really well. Couple of touches, the defence backed off, and he thought, why not hit it? And it was a good effort, probably just going over, but the keeper had to tip it just to make sure.
Stags have done really well from corners in the last few matches. Mariah Welsh taking his time to go over to the far side, so it's the Stags left. He'll take it right-footed, try and lift it in there for the likes of Sweeney, Oates, Blake Tracy, Evans in there, Bailey Cargill as well. Mariah Welsh lifts it in there, headed out the edge of the box, and there's McDonald on his left, and just didn't sit up right for him, and he's sliced it away, and it'll be a goal kick to Sheffield United. Incidentally, had a word on just about everything. A word on the ball. It's a new mitre football they're using for the FA Cup here. They describe it as gold for the tournament. It looks more like peach than gold close up. But Jamie McDonald didn't make the sort of contact they would have liked. Would have been a golden moment for Mansfield Town, that's for sure. Not even able to find the net from that effort. Just outside the box. Nicely won by Reid, who gets it back. Reid finds Rhys Oates, and to check his progress, turned it back for Mariah Welsh, and then apologising because he didn't find him. And Sheffield United get it back with Ben Mee, who's got a huge plaster on his left wrist. Not featured too much in the Championship side. Home side play it forward, cut out by Bailey Cargill, intercepts it nicely, and again gives it to Jamie McDonald, the Forest loanee. Now Will Evans, and Evans can stride forward, and Will Oates will take it in his stride, and Oates up to the edge of the area, and Oates on his left. Another good save, another powerful left-footed drive from Rhys Oates. Well, will it be 1, 2, 3 times lucky for Rhys Oates? He's had a couple of efforts turned away for corners now, and Mansfield Town asking the questions.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that really could be the tactic. Let Sheffield United have it, and when you do win it in good areas, release it early. Evans is quick, Mariah Welsh is quick, Oates is quick, and it does look like, especially centrally, the Sheffield United defence can't deal with that pace.
Akins and Oshilaja have stayed back just to cover the threat of Danny Ings. Everybody else up there. In comes the corner, headed out by Harmer, and there's Lewis Reid, and he'll hit it! Oh, what a goal from Lewis Reid against his former side, and Mansfield Town have been asking the questions and now have the lead with an absolute screamer from 20 yards into the top corner. 2 really good saves leading up to that from Davis, well beaten, and Reid gets his second of the season. It's Sheffield United 0, Mansfield Town 1.
Yeah, and do you know what? It was coming. As much as Sheffield United have got the ball, Mansfield are starting to pose threat after threat. We all know how good they are at corners, and it's a strange tactic really. Sheffield United don't have anyone on the edge of the box, so when they head the ball out, Mansfield have got 2 players just waiting to hit it. McDonald missed his opportunity on the first corner, but Reid then, as soon as it left his foot, you could just see it arrowing into that top corner. Great start for Mansfield.
It's not really one for overstated celebrations, just a little raise of the arm. I don't think that's to do with scoring against his former side. He was quickly engulfed by his teammates, absolutely delighted at seeing that one touch the back of the net. Disrespect the FA Cup, folks, and it often comes back to hurt you. You make 10 changes when you don't necessarily have to, as this is cut out by Will Evans on the far side, and now Evans striding forward, lays a ball across the Sheffield United box, can't find Rhys Oates, and it will remain 1-0 to the side in amber and blue, or the side in yellows if you listen to the near 5,000 away to our left. I think there's perhaps been a flare or two let off, because there's some smoke emanating from the end away to our left.
I suppose tactically it's interesting because Sheffield United really they're playing a 4-4-2. Hamer does come in a little bit, but they're playing a traditional 4-4-2 formation, which you don't really see that often.
Mark McGuinness has it for Sheffield United. Now, ball to Taith Chong, who played for Luton in their Premier League season a couple of years ago. Ball is cut back from that far side. Bailey Cargill will get it away. Arblaster. Now, Samari comes on loan from Braga in Portugal, where David Jackson and Colin Frey are heading to next week with Forest. Can get all the tourist information post-match, David, with Samari, a Braga player. Side in red and white. trailing early on to Lewis Reed's second goal of the season. His first was that penalty at Barnsley that really dragged Stags up from their boots. They were 2 down at the time, put the penalty away. And now he's got one from open play. There's Rhys Oates being found by Evans in the centre circle, spins away from his man. He got 4 round him, Oates, still did well to get it to Evans, who couldn't take it in his stride.
Yeah, the pass to Mariah Welsh was on, and I think Mansfield would have been in if he would have done it.
Stags looking to play on the counter, and thus far it's been hugely successful. 2 very decent efforts by Rhys Oates, and then the goal, the partially cleared corner out to Reed, and it just opened up for him, like John was saying, really, and found the top corner, grazed the fingertips of Adam Davis. There's Herbert, the new arrival, runs into Reed. Now Chong rolls the ball in field, and Stags can get it back again. Just trying to oversimplify things, really. Sheffield United. There's Lucas Akins. Not mentioned his name too much, Lucas Akins. Gives this one away to Burrows. Now Harmer. There's Tyrese Campbell, who's drifted out, and then nicely played by the home side. There was some lovely link-up play, and when the ball was fizzed in there by Burrows, it's turned away by Akins for a corner kick.
To be honest, the way that the game is going, I don't think we'll hear too much from an attacking perspective from Akins or Blake Tracy. It's their job just to keep the shape, and at times it is a back 5.
Gustavo Harmer to take this corner. We're in the 17th minute at Bramall Lane. The referee just holding things up whilst they ask for a little bit of separation. A lot of pushing and shoving. Harmer's corner for Sheffield United, their first of the game. It's deep to the back of the box, turned towards the goal and then turned behind. It was scuffed towards goal. And, it was a half-decent effort, but gone behind, and it'll be a goal kick. I think it was Danny Ings right in front of goal there. Probably should have done a little better. Jamie McDonald was barring his path. Clean strike at goal, and Ings puts it wide. Goal kick Stags. Played nearly 18 minutes in the pouring rain, not as heavy as it was when we made the journey from the car. Roberts' kick downfield over Blake Tracy. Blaster for Sheffield United, heads it forward. Now loose ball on the near side, picked up by Lucas Akins. Scored against Bradford on New Year's Day. Ball in field to Nathan Mariah Welsh. Mariah Welsh back to Akins, and back to Mariah Welsh, and then he tried to roll the ball forward for Rhys Oates without conviction. And the home side can get it away as far as Bailey Cargill over on that far side. Plays it back to Ryan Sweeney. Just mentioned the rain, and then it starts again a little heavier. There's Akins. Might be a story of this cup run, because it was filthy at Accrington in the last round. Roberts just belts it downfield, and getting on towards the 20-minute mark. Nigel Clough's going to be absolutely delighted, John. Yeah,
I think Sheffield United have slowed down in their intensity, which is surprising, to be honest, considering they've gone a goal behind. But I think they're worried about the threat of Mansfield on the counter-attack, so they're not committing as many bodies forward because they know they've got to run a lot further back if they do lose it. But yeah, I agree. Nigel will be really, really happy with how they've settled into the game.
So Stags at Bolton have to soak up a lot of pressure and get that goal before half-time. Oates heading in the Mariah Welsh corner, and they were able to sit and play on the counter but soak up whatever pressure Bolton threw at them. Can they do the same for the next 70 minutes against the Championship side? There's Samari. Herbert, who started with Ajax as youth and then went to Liverpool. He's been to Auxerre in France and Stoke City, and now Wolves have let him go. Sooner or later you need to find a club that's going to play you regularly, and Kiana Herbert is hoping he can find a spot here with Sheffield United for the rest of their Championship season. Here's Blaster wearing the captain's armband for the first time. Samari spins away from Reed. Nice looking ball forward. Harmer with the shot and will score a lovely goal from distance. We've had two cracking goals here. This one rifled into the top corner past Roberts, and Gustavo Harmer makes it Sheffield United 1, Mansfield Town 1.
Yeah, and that probably is the difference between the two sides in terms of quality. Samara got the ball and he's played a lovely reverse pass into Harmer, and he's spun all in one movement, took another touch to set himself, and as soon as he's hit it, it's rocketed into that corner. Similar to the Reed goal in a way, but the build-up play just before it was excellent.
So Sheffield United, I think we all knew they possessed a threat from that sort of range. And Roberts, good as he has been this season, not within a sniff of getting anywhere near that. That was a wonderfully struck shot. Last year in this round, there were exactly 100 goals scored in the 32 matches. Kick-off of this one, we'd had 97, so still plenty of matches going on. Going to go well past the 100. Here's Staggs getting forward down the left, win another corner. A nice looking ball to release Blake Tracy, who's intercepted as he was trying to put the cross in, and it'll be another corner from that far side for Nathan Mariah-Welsh.
Yeah, good reaction. Mansfield have conceded, but they're straight up the other end trying to obviously get a goal back. And again, let's see what Sheffield United do. It just looks like they're wary of leaving anyone on the edge of the box, and there's two Mansfield players just waiting for anything that comes out.
Mariah-Welsh's corner to the near post, headed out again to Lewis Reed. Chong trying to get to him, McDonald lifts it in and it's turned away. Staggs attacking down the left well. The notes I saw from the Wolves supporters on Herver joining Sheffield United was sort of, good luck, you've got a great player going forward, but summarising, can't defend for toffee. And it's a little bit like that. The number 12 on his Sheffield United debut, he's getting forward, the extra outlet on that right hand side, but Staggs are exploiting that place down that space down that flank.
Yeah, you're right. The sort of that channel for Mansfield seems to be the outball, and I know Evans is quick, so we'll test anyone.
Oh, and there is Herver, and he's brought down by Evans on this occasion. Wasn't going to let him get away, and our referee Gavin Ward, I think, is just going to have a word with Will Evans. Just going to call him over and introduce himself. A little handshake from Evans to the stricken Dutchman. I don't think he's going to get a yellow card. So Staggs were in front for 7 minutes. This cup tie came alive in the 13th minute with a lovely strike from Lewis Reed, and then Gustavo Harmer rifling in his 4th goal of the season. Be a free kick when Evans has finally been given a dressing down by the match official, and we're underway again. Here's Mark McGuinness to Ben Mee. Replacements of both sides just going for a little warm-up on the touchline, hence the applause down below us. Long way down below us. Blaster to Samari. Rolls a ball forward, and there's Harmer again in that same sort of pocket just outside the area. Now Herver, outside him is Chong. Needed a couple of touches to control the ball. His bright orange boots, back to his captain for the day, Blaster. And then Harver lifts it in, and Lewis Reed will thump it away. So it's challenges for the ball, but McGuinness had a head start, and Sheffield United have possession. Decent looking crossfield ball, but that will go out. It'll be a throw into Staggs near side.
Yeah, so again, tactically, I did say that it was more of a 4-4-2, but Harmer now, he's just drifting inside. He's starting on the left sort of midfield position and drifting right inside, and when he does that, nobody's picking him up. McDonald and Reed are already manned up, and Akins isn't going in with Harmer, so that is something that will need to be addressed.
This is the 4th time over the years that these two sides have been drawn together in the FA Cup. Staggs have progressed twice, Sheffield United once. The only time they were drawn together in the 3rd round was in that magical 1968-69 season, as Deji Oshilaja comes out of defence, wins a ball in midfield, lays it off to Blake Tracy, and Mariah-Welsh, I beg your pardon. His ball forward doesn't find Oates, and the home side will come again. Nice looking ball from Ings. Here's Chong just inside the area. Still Chong. His effort is charged down, and Lewis Reed will put it away over on that far side, but McGuinness picks it up, prevents it going out for a throw, gives it to Herver, back in field to Samari. Blaster, ball across field, cut out by Lucas Akins. Nice ball from Gustavo Harmer. And Reed, just a little bit scrappy and desperate from Mansfield Town the last few minutes. Leading up to the goal, they played some lovely football, actually. You could see what they were trying to do with the counter-attack. At the moment, it's just a little bit frenetic, just trying to clear their lines, which is never a bad thing, but if there isn't an outlet, it's going to come back again, as it does at the moment, with Kijana Herbert on the far side. Danny Ings, and he rolls it loosely forward, but then given away by Will Evans. And the side in red and white stripes have it again with Chong. Now Burrows lifts it in, deflected up into the air, and then it looks like a foul. Yeah, the referee's spotted an infringement. Mansfield Town can clear their lines. It's one apiece. They're about 19 and a half minutes away from half time. Reed for the visitors and Harmer with the equaliser.
Yeah, I actually think Blake Tracy's got away with one there, because it's like he's waited. He's waited for the ball, and instead of jumping and attacking it, and his man's coming off the back of him. And yeah, there was a slight foul, but I think he needs to be a bit more proactive and really attack that ball. But yeah, really good start. You could argue both teams will be relatively happy with the start they've made to the game. Mansfield need to still offer a threat going forward, because as you say, at the minute the balls forward just seem aimless, and it's coming back a little bit too quickly.
We've restarted with a long ball downfield. Sheffield United have it with their back line. Ben Mee in possession. Daylight today, filthy day weather-wise. Those white boots, I don't think they're going to stay white for too long. That'll be a job for the apprentice tomorrow morning, I'm sure, to clean Ben Mee's boots. Ball out near side with the latest in a sequence of Sheffield United throws taken by Harrison Burrows. Mee has it. Square ball to McGuinness, who is in the centre circle. Just runs forward with it, crosses the halfway line. Arblaster to Herver, back to Arblaster. And Samari. Everybody behind the ball for Mansfield Town. Rhys Oates and Will Evans, as always, putting a shift in to get back and help out where needed. Harrison Burrows doing well down the left, gets into the area. McDonald from behind just leaned on him. He went to ground easily. The referee waved play on, but then blows his whistle for a foul on Rhys Oates, and Stags again can clear their lines. Gustavo Harmer saying, well, if you're going to give that one, what about the one in the box? But I didn't think it was a penalty. I don't think it was worth a shout.
No, I don't think it was a penalty. That was pretty poor defending there by Ben Mee, because Rhys Oates is going nowhere, and Mee's just coming to the back of him and giving Mansfield a little bit of a breather. Stags ball downfield,
hit over Evans, and the side in red and white can come again. One apiece. Harrison Burrows, former Peterborough man. Lovely looking ball, and Oshilaja did well not to lean too heavily on Tyrese Campbell once he'd entered the area. Samari. Blaster tried to thread a ball into the Mansfield Town penalty area. Turned upfield. Rhys Oates controls it on his chest, but the layoff couldn't find Reed, and once again Stags having to backtrack, try and win the ball back. Possession stats are going to start to increase in Sheffield United's favour. Doesn't matter though whilst it remains 1-1, but Championship side asking the questions at the moment. Harmer the goal scorer. To Arblaster. Samari. Back to the number 8. Crossfield ball right across the halfway line to McGuinness. Looks up and surveys what's ahead of him. Outside is Wolseley. Herver as the rain sweeps across Bramall Lane once more. Sheffield United fans will have been delighted that their city rivals went out yesterday. Sheffield Wednesday losing to Brentford. Here's Samari into the area, left-footed effort, charged down by a combination of Akins and Oshilaja, and it'll be a corner kick to Sheffield United from their left side, away to our left in front of those Stags fans.
Yeah, really powerful play by Samara there. He's a strong boy, and technically he's a good player as well, so Braga must have some really talented midfielders.
Everybody in amber and blue back in that penalty area. There's the corner to the near post, didn't get any elevation on it, and ball stuck initially under Lucas Aiken's boot, turns it away and then lifted back forward by Burrows. It's going to stay in. Tyrese Campbell tussling for it with Oshilaja, who gets it away as far as Burrows, lifts it back in there again. Bailey Cargill challenges for it with McGuinness, and the visitors can break from defence. Blake Tracy back to Sweeney, now Oshilaja.
This is where Mansfield need to build a few passes before they just give the ball back away.
Fraser Blake Tracy, Ryan Sweeney, back to Liam Roberts. Didn't play in the last game, of course. He was nursing a rib injury. That's another loosish touch from Aikens, and Harmer drags Mariah Welsh to the ground. Home supporters either didn't see it or don't want to believe what they did see, but that looked a clear foul, and it's a free kick to Mansfield Town on the halfway line. Yeah, he did pull him back. It was a soft one, and I think he got away with it, really, because Aikens did a poor pass back to Mariah Welsh, but it was better by Mansfield. They kept the ball a little bit. It's not just turning it straight over. There is Nathan Mariah Welsh. Aikens will get settled in this game. He will. There's McDonnell for Stags. Dinks the ball out to the far side, but cut out easily by Hervert. Back to McGuinness, and now me. And once again, we look to our left as Sheffield United and those famous red and white stripes come forward. One of the early strong sides in the FA Cup. They won the FA Cup competition itself 4 times in the early years of the competition. Only 12 sides have actually won it more than the Blades. It's a long time since they won the trophy. Reached the semi-final under Nigel Clough, and 3 years ago under Paul Heckingbottom. Here's Harmer. Now Ben Mee. In the 33rd minute, that's a ball that's going to challenge Fraser Blake Tracy on that far side. He cuts out the intended cross, and then we'll get it back from Will Evans. Tries to dribble out of a defence. Thought he was nudged over, but the ref waves play on, and Samari has it for Sheffield United. Good looking ball in behind Aikens, but Harrison Burrows had checked his run and just apologises that he didn't go on and try and make something out of it. Remains 1-1. Stags in front of you, just joining us through Lewis Reed, an absolute cracker from 20 yards, but 7 minutes later, one of equal quality from distance from Gustavo Harmer levelled it up. Yeah, a good game, really good game so far, and I think every fan in here will be intrigued as to which direction the game's going to go, because yes, Sheffield United have got a lot of the ball and they're moving it nicely, but when Mansfield string a few passes together, they do look a genuine threat on the counter-attack. Roberts' ball downfield hits the knee of Evans, breaks to Rhys Oates. Oates goes on a little bit of an exploratory journey forward. Outside him is Blake Tracy, ball lifted in, Harmer back there defending. Good clearing header. Bailey Cargill plays it forward. Rhys Oates tries to get on the end of that one, was falling to ground, actually headed it whilst he was nose down in the grass. I think the referee, has he blown something? Has he blown for a drop ball? I think he has. I think it'll be an uncontested drop ball to Sheffield United. So Stags bidding to create a little bit of history here, bidding to be one of those David v Goliath sides already this weekend. We've seen Wrexham beating Forest from a higher division, Wigan winning at Preston on Friday night, and of course yesterday non-league Macclesfield knocking out the cup holders Crystal Palace. Evans was okay. We've restarted with the home side in possession. Second half, they won't be cheered on towards the Kop end by their home faithful. The Kop looking really sparse today. Normally a real stronghold, lots of noise, lots of drums and sound coming from that end. Here's Herver, I beg your pardon. Herver and Harmer in the side. Back to the Dutchman. He's got Arblaster inside him, wearing 4, and then Samari in possession. Samari's ball finds the goal scorer Harmer. Just getting closer and closer to the Stags' 18-yard box. Roberts has got to be careful here with the bounce, and just I think comes off the head of Sweeney, and Liam Roberts will claim it.
Yeah, dealt with it well in the end. Again, Harmer coming in off that left-hand channel. He's a threat, and I do think Mansfield need to make sure somebody picks him up. Could be Mariah Welsh. Maybe Aitken stays in his shape, and Mariah Welsh comes in with him.
Sheffield United throw-in inside the last 10 minutes of a very watchable first half in the rain at Bramall Lane. Ben Mee for Sheffield United. Chris Wilder, Sheffield United's 57-year-old boss in his 3rd stint with the club, comes to the edge of his technical area to have a bit of a look. Harrison Burrows, a ball across the face of goal there, and Tyrese Campbell trying to get on the end of it, but it's turned away again by Ryan Sweeney. Not quite last-ditch defending, but it was really important that Sweeney got that interception. It'll be a corner kick again to Sheffield United.
Yeah, quite a few corners today, and both teams have dealt with them in different degrees of success.
This one's taken short to Burrows. Back to Harmer, lifts it in, but nobody there at the back post. Just waiting for that cross, and it'll be a goal kick to Mansfield Town. Bench for Stags today includes all 3 of the recent arrivals. Ollie Iro, young striker from Spurs, and playing for their under-21s. John Russell, experienced midfielder from Barnsley, got some Jamaica international caps, and Victor Adeboyego, striker brought in until the end of the season at least from Bolton Wanderers. He's been out of the game since February. He's been fit to go, but can't get a look in at the moment at the Tough Sheet Stadium. Surplus to requirements, and Nigel Clough sees him as a very useful pickup. Remains to be seen what he can do between now and the end of the season. Sheffield United have the ball in their final third with McGuinness. Ball forward to Mee, quickly up to the halfway line, and then Mee will dink it left-footed forward. Decent looking ball, but the flag has gone up, and Mansfield Town will have a free kick. That may well be the first offside of the match.
Yeah, I don't think there's been many at all. It's quite nice because the game's not really been broken up by lots of injuries and things like that. It's been quite a fluent game, and it's one again where I'm not too sure where the managers' heads will be at. Nigel obviously will be happy that Mansfield aren't losing and they do pose a threat. But perhaps Sheffield United, they'll be thinking they need to capitalise on all the possession that they've had.
Had a couple of good years. More than a decade ago now, where Nigel Clough with Sheffield United, 2 FA Cup runs, 1 to the semi-final, 1 to the quarter-final. Sensed he still feels that there was more of a job to do and he should have been given the opportunity, but that's all in the dim and distant past. He's been at the One Call Stadium for over 5 years now. Here's Harrison Burrows away down the left. Fizzes a ball in, and Chong! Lovely effort from Chong on the volley. Acrobatic effort just wide of the mark. Really, really high-class move from Sheffield United. Burrows whipping the ball in and running onto it at pace. Chong, it was off target, but just for a moment, I feared for that bottom corner.
Yeah, great play by Sheffield United, and again it comes from the wide men running in. This time it was Chong coming in off the right hand side and finding himself in a central area, relatively unmarked, but really good play, and I don't really think Roberts would have been able to save that one, but thankfully it went just wide of the post.
Tahith Chong, I think a lot of the Sheffield United players playing today will be desperate to try and force a place in Chris Wilder's first team. Tahith Chong has dare I say, loftier ambitions, because he's going to the World Cup with the Minnows Curaçao, who knocked out Jamaica to get one of those last spots in the World Cup. So I guess he'll be just desperate to show what he can do with his opportunities, but most of all he'll be desperate just to stay injury free and experience a once in a lifetime trip to the World Cup. Here's the goal scorer, Gustavo Harmer. Now to Samari. Little layoff in the middle of the park there to Arblaster, and as we tick on towards half-time, which is 5.5 minutes away, Sheffield United gradually advance downfield with Ben Mee. Ball now to Samari, and Arblaster. He's got the new man Herver outside him. Back to Arblaster. He'll try and stand one up, but it's charged down by Reid, and then Sheffield United play it forward, and a little bit of strength and no out from Will Evans, just shoulder barged his man off the ball and ensured it went out. It'll be a goal kick to Mansfield Town in front of those Stags fans, the lower tier. Many of them will be they'll be dripping wet. They've all got the big top coats on. Can't see too many replica shirts, but they've given the side really good vocal backing, and the noise when Lewis Reid's shot hit the net, albeit at the other end of the ground from them, was absolutely electric.
Yeah, it was, and they'll be happy. They'll be happy with what they've seen so far, and they'll be looking forward to cheering Mansfield on to attack towards them in the second half.
Does that make a difference? I'm sure you've played in something similar where, you know, at one end there's no fans, but at the other you've got your fans. Is that Will Evans trying to spin away from his man. Ben Mee turns it away. More from John Delary in just a second, but there's hardly a moment's breathing space in this one as McDonald gives it to Blake Tracy, helps it on again to Rhys Oates, who's had a good game, and he's barged off the ball, but it goes out. It'll be a throw into Stags. Yeah,
regards what you were saying, definitely does make a difference when you can see all your fans and you're running towards them, and it's even better when you score in front of them and you can get in there for the celebrations.
Stags haven't spent too much time in the last 10 minutes in the Sheffield United half, but they've got a throw in and give it to Lewis Reid, and now back over the halfway line. His ball to Sweeney, and Sweeney's in reverse to Oshilaja, and he goes further back to goalkeeper Roberts, and his ball looking to go down the left, headed forward nicely. One for Evans to try and chase on. It was nicely won by Fraser Blake Tracy, who really is a valuable utility type player. Nicely won by Rhys Oates. Come back to him in a moment, and Rhys Oates goes round a couple, and then he's fouled from behind right on the edge of the box by Chong. Let's hope first and foremost that Rhys Oates is okay. I think he was fouled twice in that move. In fact, the referee is going to bring it all the way back from the first one, which I don't like that.
I'm not sure the second one was a foul. Be interesting to see the replay. I thought he might have just won the ball.
No, I don't think so.
No.
You'd want the free kick from where the second one was, surely.
Yeah.
I know, he's obviously seen the foul and given the advantage. That's sort of a tough one to take, that.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is that the ref must have thought that Chong didn't foul him, so he's brought it back. I think it was Campbell maybe who made, Samaru made the first tackle.
43rd minute of the game. Lewis Reid leaves the ball alone for Nathan Mariah Welsh, so it's a free kick sort of inside left channel. It's an awkward one. They've not sort of got much of an angle to work with here. Sheffield United holding a line on the penalty spot. Rhys Oates has backed off. He's the deepest man. Aikins coming in behind. In comes the ball, flicked on by a Sheffield United head, and it's gone behind. It'll be a Stags corner. They're fourth of the first half, but the first one from this right-hand side.
Yeah, it will be. And I know Mansfield spend a lot of time working on the set pieces, and hopefully Mariah Wells can put this into a good area, but again there's the two players on the box waiting at the edge of the box waiting for anything that comes out.
Stags scored from Mariah Welsh right-sided corners at Accrington and at home to Stockport. There he lifts this one in there into a crowd, comes out and then volleyed back and in. Oh, he's done it again. What an absolute screamer again from Lewis Reid, and again Sheffield United just haven't picked up on what John Delaria has been saying all the first half. They're not defending the edge of the box, and Lewis Reid this time, if anything, strikes it even sweeter. Sheffield United 1, Mansfield Town, Super Mansfield Town 2.
Yeah, great finish, great strike. It might have took a little nicking on the way in, but as you said, he struck it so cleanly that as long as it's on target, it's definitely going to go in. And I've looked and they're marking zonally. They've got players in zones and then just a couple of players actually marking men and no one on the edge of the box. And they win the first header, but it just keeps coming back out to Reid or McDonald, and then it's just like a free shot on goal. It's crazy. I've never seen a team do that with no one on the edge of the box at all.
It was a defender with the slightest of touches in front of the goalkeeper, but rest assured it was going in anyway. There's still that bizarre scenario from Accrington where the corner was headed in by the Accrington player unchallenged, and the goal was given to Will Evans, who was 10 yards away. That's still one that the dubious goals panel, for whatever reason, didn't pick up, but Will Evans happy to claim it, but he was nowhere near it. But Reid, crikey, he's been waiting all season for this sort of game, hasn't he? He's only scored one goal, the penalty at Barnsley, and now he's got two against his former side. It's astonishing. He's on a hat-trick. I wonder if he'll want a penalty if Stags get one. Just coming up to 45 minutes, and our fourth official says 1 to go, which I like a lot. Mansfield Town will want to get off the field as quick as they can now they've got the lead back again. Blaster rolls the ball forward. Sheffield United will also be well aware that time is against them here if they're to get something before half-time. Ings dribbles it out to the far side to the Curaçao international Chong. His ball forward cut out by Reid. Comes back to Chong. Reid did well not to bring him down. Laid back to Blaster. A wall of amber and blue charges it down. Out to Herver. Back to Samari. We've had 40 seconds of the 60 to be added on. A little surprised there wasn't more. We've had 3 goals. Usually add a little bit of time on for the goal celebrations, if nothing else. It shan't complain if he blows with Stag still leading. Here's Chong. Back to Samari. A man on loan from Portuguese side Braga. Finds Ben Mee. Then Harrison Burrows has put in some dangerous crosses from the left. Goes back to Mee. That's it. That's your 60 seconds. Nigel Clough, Andy Garner absolutely imploring the referee to blow for half-time. The ball is booted into touch. And at half-time here at Bramall Lane, it's Sheffield United 1, Lewis Reid 2. 2 absolutely glorious strikes into the top corner. It's cup football. It's Mansfield Town football. They have come here determined to make it 3 Yorkshire sides in a row after wins at Barnsley and against Bradford City, and now it's Sheffield United all in front of John Delaria.
Is indeed, and it's not so much backs to the walls because Mansfield definitely are posing a threat in this game, but you would say Sheffield United have had more of the play, but Mansfield definitely pose a threat with Evans and Oates on the break, and whenever there's a corner it just looks like Mansfield will get an opportunity on goal, and Reid's took 2 perfect chances there, 2 great strikes, and despite the possession, I would say tactically Mansfield deserve to be ahead.
Yeah, Sheffield United have looked to play some really nice football, haven't they? Round about the period that Stags scored their first goal, Mansfield Town were on top, but then Sheffield United had a good spell. Wasn't the biggest surprise in the world to me when they got the equaliser, and then they looked to set siege to the Stags goal. Some desperate but important defending from Mansfield Town. I think Oshilaja, Sweeney, Cargill, backed up also by Akins on the right, Blake Tracy on the left, have been terrific. Liam Roberts has made a couple of important catches just to calm everything down as well, but that's a really good first 45, and if they'd got in at 1-1, I'd say the same. Yeah. It's, the danger is still there, but to have something now to defend, that's terrific, isn't it?
Well, if anything, it allows them, if they want to sit back even more, because Sheffield United, they'll have to go for it, they'll have to commit more bodies forward, and we just know that when they do that, Evans, Oates, Mariah Wells, even Aikins bombing forward every now and again, they will pose a threat on the counter-attack. I think Nigel will be saying don't do anything different. He might want to tweak a few things tactically. I still feel that Hamer and Chong, when they come inside, nobody's picking them up. That is something that I'd look at. But apart from that, Nigel will just say, same again, boys, same again.
The last time these sides met in the third round of the FA Cup was 1969. Mansfield won by 2-1 and then beat mighty West Ham in the 5th round. It was extraordinary back then for Mansfield Town to be labelled as giant killers. They may get the same headlines again if they're still leading at the end of the afternoon, but at half time it's oh so good indeed, as we just see the goals again on the monitors in front of us. 2 stunning strikes from Lewis Reid. It's Sheffield United 1, Mansfield Town 2.
Who would have thought when Nigel Clough gave Lewis Reid his debut for Sheffield United as a young teenager back in 2014, that 11 years later they would be coming back to haunt them and Lewis Reed hitting 2 goals into the top corner. We've had 3 goal of the season contender, John Delahaye, in 45 minutes.
Yeah, we have indeed, and I forgot all about Hamers, because that was a great strike
goal
as well. Yeah, fantastic goal, great action. I've really enjoyed the game. Sometimes you get FA Cup games which can be a little bit dull, but this one's been brilliant.
Yeah, who knows how the second half is going to unfold. John Delahaye, Dave Bracegirdle will describe it all for you on BBC Radio Nottingham, but we'll run you through what else is happening at the moment. This is David Jackson here with Matchday on BBC Radio Nottingham. Earlier, Leeds winning 3-1 at Derby. Ben Brereton Diaz putting Derby ahead, and Leeds missing a penalty in that first 45 minutes, just a few minutes before Derby scored actually, but Leeds coming back in the second half to win 3-1. Arsenal are 3-1 up now at Portsmouth. Colby Bishop, formerly of Notts, put Portsmouth ahead after just 3 minutes. An own goal levelled things up, and 2 goals for Gabriel Martinelli, the Brazilian, putting Arsenal 3-1 ahead. About half an hour remaining there. Almost half time in the other 2:30 kickoffs. Hull Blackburn is 0-0, and Norwich coasting at the moment 2-0 up over Walsall. Swansea West Brom and West Brom QPR are both goalless. At 4:30 it's Manchester United against Brighton. We'll have a little look at what happened yesterday at the FA Cup in just a moment. It's 3:20 now.
There's more to this place than meets the eye. The Quirky.
So evidently he got the name because he used to corral all the local street urchins together and march them up and down as though they were an army.
The Forgotten.
Florence was outraged at this and created what I think is the first graduate recruitment for women.
The Places you never knew existed.
We have found evidence of occupation of the caves or use of the caves by 2 different human species during the Ice Age, so Neanderthals and also our species, Homo sapiens.
Notorious Nottinghamshire. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
Matchday.
BBC Radio Nottingham.
So here on BBC Radio Nottingham, Mansfield halfway to causing an FA Cup shock. 2-1 up here at Sheffield United. The second half on the way in about 10 minutes or so. No doubt about the big story yesterday. It's arguably the biggest story in the FA Cup of all time. 6th tier Macclesfield are heading for the 4th round of the competition. They beat the holders, Premier League side, Crystal Palace.
Comes out to the edge of the box, left-footed shot, deflected, Bella. Oh, it's going in! It's going in! It's 2-0! Oh, the place goes absolutely mad! Macclesfield are winning 2-0 against Crystal Palace. Miller stuck out a leg. It rolled agonisingly past Benitez. And this could be the first time that a team from the 6th tier knocks out a top-flight club in the FA Cup, and not just any club, it's the holders, Crystal Palace. Oliver Glasner and his team cannot believe what's happening to them here. Well, what's happening is, it's Macclesfield 2, Crystal Palace 0. Dawson hits it downfield, and that is the last kick of the match. One of the greatest FA Cup giant killings has happened here in the sunshine at the Moss Rose. The holders, Crystal Palace, have been knocked out. What a turnaround of fortunes for Crystal Palace. Winners at Wembley in May, losers in Macclesfield in January. And a pitch invasion now from all sections. The Macclesfield players have disappeared in a scene of celebration. Paul Dawson, the captain, with his bandaged head, is being raised high in the middle of the pitch. Macclesfield have beaten Crystal Palace by 2-1, and we have witnessed it here today. We have witnessed the biggest giant killing that the FA Cup has ever seen, because it's the first time that a team from the 6th tier have knocked out a top-flight club, and also the biggest gulf that there's been in terms of league places, with Macclesfield 117 places down the pyramid from Crystal Palace.
John Murray describing the action. 117 places, so if you have memories like I do of Wrexham beating Arsenal famously, there were 91 places between them, and what a big shock that was. This even greater than that. Sutton United, of course, beating Coventry would have been possibly more than that, but 117 places between them. Huge day for Macclesfield. After the match, the BBC's Gary Flintoff spoke with the Macclesfield manager John Rooney.
Can you actually put into words what your team has achieved here today? I mean, not only are they a Premier League side, they were the FA Cup holders.
No, it's incredible. It still doesn't feel real. Obviously, before the game, we were talking about, with a bit of hope and listening to the FA Cup, but did they really believe it? No, probably not. But when we went 1-0 up, I was like, they're going to come on top now. But I thought the lads, I didn't think, obviously we won the game, but I thought we were well-deserved winners as well. I thought we were outstanding.
I've spoken to both of your goal scorers, and clearly the momentum of the game was shifted by the timing of both of those goals. But I think particularly the goal from Paul Dawson really gave you hope. And I just wonder, from a coach's perspective, just before half-time, how important was that for you?
No, it's, you take scoring a goal against the Premier League side, but to score just before half-time and then to get the lads in, see the next 5 minutes out and then get them in, and just to tell them about the second half, how can we slow the game down, how can we manage the game, how can we take the stinger out of it if they have a spell. And they carried it out, everyone into a man, the subs that come on, outstanding, and as I touch on, I couldn't be any prouder, and it's still surreal to me. It's wow, can't believe it.
And these players are here because they're good footballers, they have ability, but was there any question in your mind they had the character to get over the line today, having taken the lead?
It's hard because you're up against the Premier League side, so whether they've got character or not, but I thought they showed the character in abundance. They showed a real grit about them, winning the second duels, winning the individual battles, 2 centre-halves were solid as a rock head and everything. I thought we were outstanding, so if anyone questions their lad's character in there after seeing that today, wow.
And we've seen the scenes of celebration right at the end. The joy of the plastic pitch is that the fans can join you on there to celebrate, and of course there'll be faces that you'll see week in, week out, normally stood on the terraces, but certainly with extra faces here today. I mean, what did that mean to you right at the full-time whistle? Can you put that emotion into words?
No, listen, I just seen, I was obviously had a little celebrate myself, but then to see the fans coming on, listen, this club went under a few years back, and since Rob's took over, we've had success in the league, but we've never really had that FA Cup run which we'd want. And to see that today, and to see the performance, and to see the fans, they deserve that. And I think whether it was a grass pitch, I'm sure they still would have been on that pitch today.
As you say, Rob has put his money in, but I mean, you can't get away from the fact that today has generated so much money that presumably your budget has changed entirely for next season.
That's where we'll have to sit down and discuss it. No, but listen, Rob's been incredible, and he's given me my opportunity to manage his team, manage his club, and was I ready to finish playing? I'm not too sure. Probably had a couple of years left, but once you come out of football, you don't know whether you get back in a manager's role or a coach's role, so I wanted to grab it with both hands.
And how do you celebrate tonight?
Listen, we're in there with all the lads, and I was still a player last year, so I still got that relationship, so they deserve to celebrate tonight, and I'll go over and see my family, my wife and kids in the bar.
And I believe the owner is suggesting he's taking you all to Ibiza.
Oh, is that what he's saying? He loves
Apparently
it.
So. He said it on the BBC, John, so he can't back down now.
He gets carried away, Rob, but listen, he's good like that. He done it last year when we won the league, so I wouldn't put anything past Rob.
If you thought you recognised the voice there, you are right. John Rooney is Wayne Rooney's brother, speaking there with the BBC's Gary Flintoff after a memorable victory for them over Crystal Palace. Good win for Macclesfield. That no doubt the highlight of the weekend. There was a shock locally on Friday night. I mean, I say a shock, I think many people saw it coming really, with Forest away at Wrexham. They were 2-0 down at half-time, Forest. They got back through Igor Jesus before then going 3-1 down, and then a couple of great goals actually by Callum Hudson-Odoi sent it into extra time. They then went to a penalty shootout which Wrexham won 4-3. After the game, Sean Dyche spoke with BBC Radio Nottingham, evidently unhappy with some of those players who he'd given a chance to play in the first 45 minutes.
Look, you can lose a game, but not in that fashion. Well, first half, I must make that clear, I thought we were absolutely unacceptable. miles off, giving the players a platform to go and show us what they can do. And they didn't. Obviously, no tempo to it, no fight, no desire to it. Unacceptable on every level. The players who came on the opposite of that, I thought were a credit. The way we affected the game immediately, the way they came on and act as that catalyst for the rest of the players. And it's a strange thing, you're putting a platform on tonight, for players to go and show me, like, I'm ready. And so many didn't. And that's it's unfathomable for me. And as I said, the second half, what the players come on were a credit. And then all of a sudden they act as a catalyst for the rest of the team. I've said to him many times, be the person who makes a difference. Don't wait for someone else. But first half, everyone was just looking around waiting for someone else. It was like a testimonial. Completely unacceptable. Second half onwards, we looked like a Premier League outfit. Fought back into the game with some brilliant goals from Callum, that's for sure, and a great performance from him. Morgan giving us that sort of fizz in our play, and Dom doing all the ugly hard yards, and all of a sudden we looked like an outfit again. People being more aggressive on the front foot, as we should, by the way. We give away a poor third, which I'm head scratching on that, how close it is to goal, to give that away. But then our reaction is brilliant again, and we come back into it. Fine finish from Callum. Goes into extra time, we're knocking on the door, and it goes to penalties, and then it's one of them. But you can't, any level you're playing at, you cannot perform like that in the first half, because that is miles off where we should be.
Sean Dyche is speaking to BBC Radio Nottingham after Forest's defeat to Wrexham here at Bramall Lane. The Mansfield Town players are just making their way out, set for the second half. They lead Sheffield United of the Championship, a division higher than them. They lead them at half-time by 2-1. Two brilliant strikes from Lewis Reed in this first half. In between that, a brilliant strike at the other end from Gustavo Hamer means it is Sheffield United 1, Mansfield Town 2 at the break. We've got 45 minutes more football, maybe another half an hour and a penalty shootout. After that, we'll have to wait and see. You can hear this on your smart speaker at home as well as on the radio. It's on BBC Sounds, 103.8, 95.5 FM on BBC Radio Nottingham. The second half of this FA Cup third round tie is on the way now with the former Stags midfielder John Delaye. And first, here's Dave Bracegirdle.
Thank you, David. The two sets of players out there, don't appear to be any half-time changes. I'll run through the two sides for you in just a moment, as the Sheffield United anthem is cranked up for the start of the second half. The home side looking for a response. Mansfield Town lead by 2-1, both goals by Lewis Reed, who I was just looking, has only ever scored 2 FA Cup goals before today, both on the same afternoon for Swindon Town against Crewe 5 years ago. Well, he's doubled that in a wonderful display of shooting from the edge of the box in the first half. Goal from distance as well for the home side, and Stags with a half-time lead of 2-1 as we're back underway with Sheffield United in their red and white stripes attacking the Kop end, the empty, sparse Kop end. Only 3 sides of the ground open today. Cup price tickets for this Sunday afternoon cup tie. Interesting to get the attendance later on, but the Mansfield Town fans have come in their numbers and they're enjoying things at the moment as Fraser Blake Tracy just gets his toe in and diverts the ball away from Chong, who gets it back and then plays in Hervert down the right-hand side. His cross is partially cleared and shot across the bows from distance by Harrison Burrows, who's predominantly left-footed, struck it right-footed, and it's wide. So Mansfield Town from the side that played against Bradford City on New Year's Day. Fraser Blake Tracy coming back in for Stephen McLaughlin, who drops to the bench. So Roberts in goal, Oshilaja, Sweeney and Cargill are the back three. Akins, McDonnell, Reed and Blake Tracy across the park. Mariah Welsh and Evans supporting Rhys Oates up top. The bench, Owen Mason, Stephen McLaughlin, Elliot Hewitt, Luke Bolton, Aaron Lewis, Dom Dwyer and the 3 recent arrivals, Ollie Iro, John Russell and Victor Adebayo. Ball out on the near side. The Mansfield Town side in their traditional home colours attacking their fans away to our left. Here's Rhys Oates, forced to take the ball right into the corner. Can he win something here? And he's got a throw in alongside me, former Stags midfielder John Delaria.
Hello, and I think Oates in this half, it's really, really important that he does hold the ball up, because Mansfield, I would anticipate, are going to be backs against the wall, and when they do get it...
There's Evans, fires it across the... I was going to say across the face. It didn't reach the face of goal because Oates intercepted it with a glancing header. He's trying to flick it on and find the far corner and got it wrong.
He was. I was just saying, Oates needs to make sure that he allows the rest of the team to get up with him. So just then was a prime example. He needs to hold it, win a corner, win a free kick, win a throw-in, and he did it perfectly. So that is the type of play that he needs to do this half.
Not surprised that Mansfield Town haven't made any changes. Just wonder how long Chris Wilder will go before bringing in one or two of his more regular performers, as Blake Tracy dispossesses Chong for the second time already in the second half. Cargill gave it away, then wins it back, finds the ball on the near side via Evans to Fraser Blake Tracy. Really is congested in there, and Lewis Reed goes to ground, dispossesses Chong again, who's combative. Now Hervert rolls a decent looking ball into the number 10 position, trying to find Arblaster, and then Ings, and there's Chong into the area. Former Luton man goes to ground, slips over, and then I think he's committed a foul, but the referee's waved play on, or has he? Yeah, he's given Staggs a free kick. He was like Chong couldn't unscramble his legs there. He was trying to, like a magician, trying to shuffle the cards with his legs and toppled over.
Yeah, I think he's trying to pass it. I think he's trying to square it across goal, and I think he just needs to be decisive and take a shot. He just looks like a player that probably hasn't been playing as much.
It looked to me like he was trying to, is it the Rabona they call it, and hadn't got the ball anywhere near him in order to do it. Oh, Roberts has pinged the ball out on this greasy surface over to the far side to Akins, and maybe got to him just a little quicker than Lucas was expecting, but Sheffield United haven't made the most of the throw-in, and now here's Rhys Oates, and Oates can perhaps make some ground on the far side. He's got no support, but Oates doesn't need it. He's galloping away, and he's now up to the area, and there's the cutback, and Staggs have scored a third, and it's Lucas Akins in front of the Mansfield Town supporters. Oates with pace away down the right, and he left them in his wake. The cutback needed to be precise. It was right on the money for Lucas Akins, who gets his second goal of 2026 to make it Sheffield United 1, mighty Mansfield Town 3.
Yeah, Akins with the goal, but that is all about Rhys Oates and his ability, his pace, his power. Ben Mee could not get anywhere near him, and then it's all a case of what can he do at the end of it. Can he find the right pass? Can he find the right shot? And it was a brilliant cut back to Akins, and then it's just a simple finish, 6 yards out, side foot into the corner. What a start by Mansfield.
Did mention maybe 15 or 20 minutes. I don't think that was the first time I'd actually mentioned Lucas's name in the first half. A very quiet start to this game, anything but at the start of the second half. He's celebrating his second goal in the new year already. A towering header against Bradford City, and now against another Yorkshire side, a lovely crisp right foot finish. And Staggs have a cushion. They lead by 3-1.
Yeah, really, really good for Mansfield now, and you can just see the organisation, the defensive shape. I really do not think Mansfield will come out of that shape at all, and they'll just keep looking to use Oates and Evans on the counter-attack, and why not? It's working.
Oates was brilliant in that goal.
Absolutely amazing. As I said, Akins gets his name on the score sheet, but it was all about Rhys Oates.
Sheffield United have it with Hamer, Harrison Burrows on the far side, back to Ben Mee, and then Mee will, I was going to say he'll throw a cross in, he won't, he'll just ping the ball right across the park to the new man. Hervert gets himself a little bit of room, the cross is deflected up into the air by Will Evans. There's Lucas Akins tussling for it just outside his own area, in fact 30 yards from goal really. Samari has it on the far side, and then the shot saved low down by Liam Roberts. What I will say as well for Lucas Akins, I think he did well to get up there, because Oates not only left the Sheffield United defenders in his wake, couldn't really have expected any support, so it needed the cutback rather than just a ball fizzed across the 6-yard box, because there'd have been nobody there. The cutback was perfect, and Lucas Akins just ran onto it nicely and stroked it into the far corner.
Yeah, it was great play by Akins as well, just to get up with Oates. But what I've noticed first 5 minutes of this half, we said that Hamer was causing problems coming in off the channel, but now Akins just seems to be following him, which I thought somebody would do.
Staggs gifted the ball back a couple of times, and then they try and release Rhys Oates on this near side, but can't, and it's gone out.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been told to do a man marking job on him, but right now Hamer's in the centre of the pitch and Akins is just there with him.
Lucas Akins had already made his mark on this FA Cup run for Mansfield Town. Tucked away the penalty in the shootout at Accrington. Scored his first FA Cup goal way back in 2013 in his Stevenage days, and got one last season for Stags against Curzon Ashton. Now this, with all due respect to Curzon, a loftier stage. Here's Ben Mee surging forward. He's got a decent left peg on him, but doesn't choose to shoot from distance. Rolls it to Arblaster, and now Chong, the former Luton player, in with the cross. Turned away, and Will Evans, combative Welshman, tussles for it, pushes ball and player and almost everything else out of play. Chong decided, I think he officiated himself there. He gave the free kick rather than the throw-in, took it quickly. Ref agreed with it. Back to Arblaster. Now Herver. Checks. Back to Arblaster. Rolls the ball infield, and Rhys Oates is away again on his tootsies. Goes round a couple of players, and then to his left is Lewis Reed. Oates has been brought down off the ball, and Lewis Reed, you've got a 2-goal cushion. You're on a hat-trick. I don't mind him having a go there, really. It was probably the wrong option. Had it gone into the far corner, there's a yellow card. Referee isn't going to bring this back for a foul on Oates in midfield. He'd waved the advantage and doesn't bring this one back. I think it was Samari who got the yellow card.
Yeah, it was a bit naughty, that, actually, because Oates has played it to Reed, and then Oates is trying to make a run forward, and I think Samara knows nobody's going to stop him, so he just holds on to him and pulls him down. A bit of a cynical one.
See at least one change about to be made for Sheffield United. Femi Siriki, their regular right back, is going to be introduced shortly as again the home side try and thread a pass into that congested Stags penalty area. Can't get it away. Patrick Bamford is also going to come on as a goal threat. Samari just cautioned. Now Arblaster, Sheffield United captain, on the day. It's a nice looking ball forward, and it's slid out. It'll be a corner kick. Don't actually think I've given you the side since half-time. I did promise to do so just before Stags scored. Stags one change. Fraser Blake-Tracy in for Stephen McLaughlin. Sheffield United 10 changes from their last game. Only Jibril Samari had kept his place from New Year's Day. A 3-1 win here over Leicester City. Corner to Sheffield United. They are going to make changes. Patrick Bamford and Femi Siriki waiting to come on. The corner's allowed to be taken, and it's turned away. It'll be a goal kick to Mansfield Town. So Stags Roberts in goal, Oshilaja, Sweeney and Cargill, Akins, McDonald, Reed and Blake Tracy, Evans and Mariah Welsh supporting Oates. And there's going to be another change as well. I think they're forming an orderly queue to come out of the Sheffield United technical area here. Just confirm who the other one is for you. I think it's Tom Cannon, who's had a good season thus far. Not sure who's going to go off just yet. Bamford for Ings. That's the first change about to be made. At right back, Kijana Herver makes way for Femi Siriki. And Andre Brooks, who's a right-sided midfielder, is going to come on for Tahith Chong.
Yeah, I thought the change would have been made 10 or 15 minutes into the game, even if the score was 2-1. So yeah, as soon as Mansfield got that third, I thought changes are imminent.
So just coming up to 12 minutes gone in the second half. Mansfield Town leading by 3-1. Play restarts with Liam Roberts' ball from the goal kick downfield. Bailey Cargill has a couple of attempts to get it through to Blake Tracy, does, and then Rhys Oates is inside May, and Rhys Oates is in the area. Rhys Oates has scored, and Stags have got 4 in the Steel City. It's an absolutely golden performance from Mansfield Town and from Rhys Oates, and Stags have put this cup tie to bed already. Sheffield United 1, Mansfield Town 4.
Rhys Oates, absolutely brilliant yet again. He's stretching for a ball, and I think it's intentional. He's flicked it inside Ben Mee, and once he's got the other side of him, he's got absolutely no chance. And then it's just a great finish when he does get one-on-one with the keeper, just lifts it over. Great goal.
Wonderful stuff, Rhys Oates. 3 goals in 3 matches since returning from that Christmas suspension. Mentioned it to Nigel the other day. He's every bit the advert for having Christmas off, isn't he? He's been terrific since he's served his ban, chomping at the bit to get back out there and show what he can do. And he's now got 8 for the season, and that's a wonderful goal.
Certainly is. I think some of the fans are hitting the exits already at Sheffield United, so that car park might not be too busy on the way home.
The rain continues to fall. Dare I say, the 4th round draw is on Monday evening, tomorrow evening. It's not done yet, but 4-1 on what we've seen so far. Mansfield Town, the better side by some distance.
But what I would say here is, with a score like this, I think Nigel might wait 10 minutes or so, but it's a perfect opportunity to blood some of the new players.
17,514. That's great credit to all the supporters from both sides that have come here on a filthy old day. Ticket sales were slow from the home side, but I think with the game being called off last week, they're desperate to see a bit of football. As you say, some of them have seen enough football for one Sunday afternoon, and the Yorkshire side are off home for the roast beef and Yorkshire puddings, I think, as Blake Tracy helps it forward. Now Cargill, ball down the left. There's Rhys Oates. An assist and a goal at the start of the second half. As we enter the 60th minute, is Andre Brooks, one of the 3 subs just to come on the field. Hadn't touched it before. Stags' lead had increased. Brooks to Burrows. Blaster. Brooks once more. This is 30-35 yards from the Stags' goal, and first involvement from Patrick Bamford. Sees him dumped on his backside by Oshilaja. Patrick Bamford, who grew up just outside Newark, little village of Norrell. Started with Newark Town, who you'll know well, John Delaria. Yes, the kingdom, the mighty kingdom of Newark. Patrick Bamford. Seems unofficially that he's going to stay with Sheffield United until the end of the season. They're the whispers I'm hearing. Home side have a free kick over on the far side. Stags have got to defend their box. Can't let there's a dig from distance and turned over his crossbar by Roberts. Decent looking shot from range. Was Harmer, who scored the Sheffield United goal in the first half. And we've made the point, haven't we? They haven't got their fans behind that goal, sort of trying to suck the ball into that goal. There's nobody at the Kop end that Sheffield United are now attacking. Harmer to take the corner, right side. Lots of loft, lots of elevation, and it's helped up into the air and will be stabbed home. And Patrick Bamford from close range has made it 4-2 in the 61st minute. It was poorly defended, really. The corner was just helped up into the air and it dropped just a couple of yards from goal, and the simplest of tap-ins for Patrick Bamford. And Sheffield United have reduced the arrears.
Yeah, and do you know what? It was really vital. That's why I said I didn't think Nigel would make changes for 10 minutes or so, that Mansfield just don't concede in that period, because Sheffield United have essentially got half an hour to score 2 goals. That is more than an achievable feat. So poor defending. It wasn't even a good corner. It just wasn't attacked by Mansfield, and then they didn't react to the second ball.
Lots and lots of high-scoring games in this season's third round of the FA Cup. Here's Blake Tracy, cross the face. Oates couldn't get on the end of it at full stretch. It'll be kept in by Mariah Welsh. Drags it back from almost the corner flag to McDonald now. Lewis Reed, McDonald. Here's Bailey Cargill, and Cargill's overhit it, and it will be a goal kick to Sheffield United. But that was a swift move down the left. The ball was turned across the face, and almost like Gaza in the semi-final against Germany at Euro 96 at full stretch, just couldn't reach the ball to turn it in.
No, it was again a good reaction by Mansfield to conceding. They need to slow the game down as much as possible. Take the time on throw-ins, goal kicks, everything like that. They need to stop Sheffield United getting any momentum.
Certainly do. Another goal will make it a real harum-scarum afternoon for everybody concerned. Here's Ben Mee. Ball forward to Bamford, wearing the gloves. Gets it back again and dispossessed by a combination of Sweeney and Oshilaja. Back to Roberts, who passes the ball to the edge of his box to Reid. He passes it to Blake Tracy, who gives it the size 11s downfield for Evans and Oates to chase after. Oates has gone in there on Arblaster. It's gone out. It'll be a Sheffield United throw, and the Blades midfielder not making too much of it. Free kick was given though. Here's Andre Brooks. Just come on. He tried to play a pass there to himself, and was nearly dispossessed. Cracking cup tie. Lots and lots of goals yesterday. We've already had more than 100 goals in the round. More than 4 goals a game yesterday. We've had 6 here, and there's still more than just over 25 minutes to go. Quite like it if we didn't see any more. Is Femi Siriki. Really talented right back. Arblaster turns it back to McGuinness. Nicely weighted ball to Ben Mee. Stags are funneling bodies back, and again Sheffield United asking questions just outside the box. Samari with the ball to Siriki. Siriki has 2 Stags defenders in front of him, twisting and turning, plays a ball into the box, away by Bailey Cargill, downfield. Sweeney screaming at everybody to get out and clear their lines. Back it'll come again though. McGuinness to Mee. Over the halfway line it goes. Rolled forward once again. Touch for Bamford, and it's brought to the near side to Siriki. There's Brooks. Gets it on his left. Stands it up to the far post, and it's an own goal. It's an own goal. Combination of Oshilaja and Mariah Welsh at the back post there, trying to defend that cross, and it's gone in off Deji Oshilaja off the underside of the crossbar for an own goal.
Yeah, and they're knocking at the door, non-stop knocking at the door. They're getting the ball wide to Brooks, and they do look threatening. They really do look threatening. It's so important that Mansfield still pose a threat going forward as well, because Sheffield United are not going to stop with this pressure.
Might even have gone in off Mariah Welsh. I think it was, Nathan Mariah Welsh with the touch. Oshilaja was diving very low down, trying to get the touch, and Mariah Welsh was trying to get his boot there, and it went in off the underside of the crossbar, and it's now Sheffield United 3, Mansfield Town 4. It was only 10 minutes ago since I was saying this cup tie's over. Should know better. Samari to Ben Mee. Just wonder if Nigel might be thinking of making a change or two now. Let's try and freshen it up. Sheffield United have got it forward, but the flag's gone up for offside, and it will be a chance for Stags to clear their lines.
I think Bamford's made a massive difference since he's come on. He's got the ball, he's linked up play well, he's at times he's dropped into the sort of number 10 pocket, especially now that Hamer's being man-marked by Aikins. He's making that extra man. He's been so intelligent with his movement.
And you know it's Patrick Bamford as well, don't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Free kick to Stags just outside their own penalty area. Liam Roberts launches it into the opposition half. It's in their right back position where Siriki heads it forward. Will Evans will play a ball just almost at knee height to Rhys Oates. Couldn't take it in his stride, so Sheffield United can come forward again with Mee. Tyrese Campbell scored at Wembley in May in Sheffield United's playoff defeat to Sunderland. And then over on that far side they try and get something going again with Harrison Burrows, turned away by Oshilaja and Mariah Welsh, and Mee will start it all up again. with McGuinness all to the near side, and Fraser Blake trace it, trying to take it in his stride and lost possession of the ball. So Sheffield United have it once more with Andre Brooks, who put the cross in for that last goal. Tries to thread a pass through the legs of McDonald. There's Will Evans winning it, and Evans will get it away, and it'll be a throw-in. Multi-ball in use, so Arblaster just reaches down, picks the ball up, takes the throw quickly. Been no respite for Stags. We're into the final quarter of this contest. 7 goals already is Patrick Bamford running into the corner, and it's gone out off McDonald. And Sheffield United buoyed by their supporters, some of whom did leave, or certainly were heading for the concourse when Stags went 4-1 up. Might just be regretting that decision. Been a fine comeback. Corner to the home side, taken on the near right-hand side by Hamer, and headed towards goal, but not with any power. Liam Roberts can claim, and he's asking everybody just to clear the area, get downfield and try and give him an outlet. And Roberts throws the ball up into the air. It's still raining, and then boots it downfield. McDonald tussles for a header in the centre of the park, breaks for Samari. Going to be another change made by the home side when the ball next goes out. There's Tom Davis, former Everton man. He's readying himself to come on. Hamer trying to pick out Bamford. Oshilaja got to it first, heads it away. The unfortunate Mariah Welsh hits it downfield. Knee back to his goalkeeper. Stags scoring twice in the first 11 minutes of the second half. But that change, as John was saying, to bring Bamford on, one of 3 changes, certainly altered the momentum. And there's Bamford again, fires one across the face. No teammate there to get on the end of it. It'll be a goal kick to Mansfield Town. And now I think Sheffield United can make their next change, bringing on Tom Davis. Stags needed to just see out another 10 minutes or so at 4-1. Once they got back to 4-2, that was the obvious lift. Samari's going off, making way for Davis in the middle of the park.
He's done well, Samari. I've been impressed with him. He's strong, athletic, uses the ball well, but just bringing on another player with Premiership quality and experience in terms of Tom Davis, so they definitely won't be weakened with him coming on the pitch.
Goal kick, Mansfield Town, Liam Roberts. 20 minutes remain. Stags led 2-1 at half-time. It's now 4-3 as Will Evans tries to take this in his stride. The Welshman beaten to it. First touch by Tom Davis. Sheffield United have it in their right-back position. Davis plays it forward, headed on the halfway line by Bailey Cargill. There's a coming together with Tyrese Campbell and McDonald, and it's a Sheffield United man just nudged McDonald off it, and the ball up to the edge of the area. Harmer, who needs no second invitation to shoot, and Arblaster threads a pass forward. Good save by Roberts. The drive came in, I think, from Harrison Burrows, and Roberts made a good save to keep it at 4-3. The pressure unrelenting. Here they come once more. Ball into the area, and Will Evans, a big clearance downfield, but it's going to come back again. New man Tom Davis, another touch to Brooks. Now Sariki. Dispossessed by Will Evans, and Will Evans does well. Will Evans, and he'll play it forward for Rhys Oates, and Oates wanted it just a little closer to him. He's as quick as a greyhound, but couldn't get on the end of that one. It was just overhit, too close to the goalkeeper.
See, that was such an easy pass, and that could have been a great opportunity to take us to 5-3.
Still had a lot of work to do, but Evans certainly should have got it a little closer to Rhys Oates on the counter. Here's Arblaster in the middle of the park. Rhys Oates gets a toe in, and now Stags have it once again with Will Evans, and this time he looks up, and of course he hasn't got Rhys Oates as the outlet because Oates had come back to help out, but then he finds Oates, gives it back to Evans, tries to play a ball infield to Lewis Reed, who scored the first 2 Mansfield Town goals. Lucas Akins and Rhys Oates getting goals 3 and 4. Hamer, Bamford and an own goal with the Sheffield United strikes. Thrilling cup tie. Andre Brooks trying to run out Fraser Blake Tracy up to the edge of the area. Brooks, and Blake Tracy's played it off his man. Yeah, that's a goal kick. Very well done indeed. The important thing was to make the challenge, to make the ball the number one mission rather than the twinkling toes of Andre Brooks, and he did that nicely, but played it off Brooks and gets the goal kick.
I just wonder if Nigel might look to bring in a little bit more energy or more legs into the central midfield area. I just saw McDonald stretching both his hamstrings, which normally is an indicator of cramp or some form of tightness, so wouldn't surprise me if maybe Lewis or perhaps the new lad, is it Russell, comes on into there. Long goal kick, and Will Evans will get on the end of it. And Evans, a lovely ball to Akins now in the area, right side. Akins tries the shot, had a lot to do and it was charged down, comes out 30 yards from goal to Jamie McDonald, twisting and turning, trying to find a teammate. McDonald's done well there. Really good skills by Jamie McDonald. Now then, going in the right direction, tries another shot into the red and white striped jersey, and Sheffield United can now do something on the counter with Bamford. His ball forward is intercepted by Sweeney. Looked like Bamford was fouled. Referee wave play on. It's gone out, and now we are going to get some changes, and we are going to see two of the new lads, Victor Adeboyejo and John Russell, as John Delaria was hoping to see, and also I think Aaron Lewis going to come on. And Sheffield United have taken the throw quickly. Siriki. 74 minutes on the Bramall Lane scoreboard. 16 to go. Andre Brooks in possession to Tom Davis, and now Femi Siriki. 3 of the subs all getting touches. Now Ollie Arblaster. Back to Siriki. And Arblaster again. Brooks once more. Stags being patient, Sheffield United in possession being patient, but Rhys Oates will just get a toe on the ball, but it's gone out off Oates, and it'll be a Sheffield United throw. Can they take it? Or no, I think the fourth official's just had a word in the referee's ear to hold things up, and there's going to be changes made here. I think it's Jamie McDonald going to be the first to make way for Aaron Lewis. I'm sure he did put up number 15, but like so many fourth officials up and down the country, not entirely sure about the numbers. Now number 22, Nathan Mariah Welsh, sees his number raised. John Russell going to replace him, and Rhys Oates is going to come off. Well, he's been absolutely terrific, Rhys Oates, and for him, as much as anything else, I hope Stags win this, because his performance certainly deserves to be on the winning side. Debuts for Stags to Victor Adeboyejo and for John Russell. Let's see how they go, John Delaria. Yeah, good luck to them. Surprised at the Oates one, to be fair, because I think he had a bit more energy left in his legs, and he was a threat. Obviously, Adeboyejo might be his equal a threat, but Oates didn't seem to look tired at all, really. But I definitely agree with bringing on extra legs in midfield. I think the energy seems to have gone a little bit in there from a Mansfield perspective. So we'll, I'm sure, get an early glimpse of how Stags are going to regroup. They've got that same back 5 spread across their final third. Adeboyejo as the lone striker. And here come the home team again with Ben Mee. Rolls the ball forward to Bamford. A couple of nice touches and then a loose one from Davis. Goes up in the air and Bailey Cargill heads it away. It'll be kept in on the near side, just in front of the 2 dugouts by Femi Siriki. Bowls it infield to Davis, and then a crossfield ball to Bamford, who does like to drop deep to link up the play. Aaron Lewis has gone over there to try and close him down. Bamford leaves Lewis in his shadow. Sheffield United have it with Arblaster, and now Davis. Tom Davis rolls it off to Aaron Brooks, and now Siriki.
77 minutes gone. Sariki on the near side. Will Evans just tries to get a toe on it and did enough to concede a corner kick.
Yeah, good defending by Evans, good disciplined play there. I think he will, just as Akins has done, have to spend most of this half defending.
Gustavo Harmer comes to the near side, so a right-sided, right-footed corner from Harmer for Sheffield United, who trail by 3-4. Left arm held aloft and it's lifted in there, and near post touch, ball hacked away by John Russell. Out to Harmer, who'll recycle it from this near side to Harrison Burrows, who's overhit that, and an opportunity to at least let 30 seconds tick off the clock before the ball comes back into play. Goal kick, Mansfield Town.
Yeah, and the game does seem to have slowed down a little bit, which is a good thing for Mansfield. They don't want the sort of basketball style nature of back and forwards of the game. Russell needs to get in there and impose himself onto the game, and the same with Adebayo. He needs to try and do as the work that Oates was doing in terms of holding it up and offering a threat in behind.
His first game since doing an ACL last February. Will have of course had lots of practice matches and what have you, but gets a little head on there, and Ben Mears spooned the ball up in the air. Will Evans tussling for it on this near side, gets it. He's got Blake Tracy to his left, tried to go infield, and now Staggs will get it back with Russell. To his right is Aaron Lewis, and Lewis fires just wide. Don't know if that was the right option. It was a lot closer than I initially thought it was going to be, but it did have 1 or 2 targets in the box. Aaron Lewis trying his luck from the right side of the area, not too far away.
Yeah, at the time I agree with you. I thought, don't shoot just yet, have another touch and see what opens up, but yeah, wasn't too far away at all. At all.
Oh, blaster for Sheffield United. Near side, it's Femi Sariki. Sheffield United have spent 3 of the last 6 years in the Premier League. This is their second season back in the Championship. They finished 3rd last year, lost in the playoff final. Russell wins that, and now Adebayo, his first touch was not as he would have wished. Ball ran away from him, and Sheffield United can come again with the ball out to the far side. To Burrows and Gustavo Harmer. Bamford's in the box, so too Andre Brooks, who picks it up just outside the area, twisting and turning. Needed to be an important challenge, and was, from Bailey Cargill. Sariki turns it back in there. There's Oshilaja with a touch. Lucas Akins dispossessed. Harmer has it. Now Tom Davis. Sheffield United really laying siege to the goal away to our right, and Will Evans has dispossessed Sariki. Looks up, just waits for an outlet, and again he's overhit it far too much on that, and no chance for Adebayo. Inside the last 10 minutes, Sheffield United have made 4 changes. They've just readied Jaro Riedewald, midfielder, ready to come on. He's another of their regular Championship starters. Plays in the middle of the park. Sprays passes around. Now then, there's Bamford twisting and turning, trying to get into the area, and the shot has been deflected behind for a corner kick. I could see from here that the challenge on Bamford, there were about 3 Stags players all around him, took the ball away from him, but the corner is conceded. Another opportunity to load that box.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty for me, but again, Bamford is making everything happen for Sheffield United.
Match day from BBC Radio Nottingham. FA Cup 3rd round football. Hamer with the corner, lifts it in there, headed towards the far post, and Stags can get it away, but not too far is Sariki. Middle of the Stags half, tries to lift it back in. The touch was from Aaron Lewis and then turned away. Friday night, Forest losing to Wrexham on penalties. Notts County's game at Oldham called off yesterday. Sunday football for Mansfield Town. It's going so well at the hour mark that it's a real nail biter now, as Sariki does Adebayo over on that far side for Mansfield Town does really well to dispossess Sariki, but his cross into the box. was hopeful more than anything else.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to knock it off the player and get a corner. But good initial play from him, and that'll encourage him.
8 minutes to go, plus a chunk of added on time. I think we can be looking at about a quarter of an hour that Mansfield Town have got to either protect this lead or add to it if they're to go through to the third round without the need of possibly extra time and penalties. There's Arblaster for the home team. A ball to the near side, overhit, gone out for a throw-in. If you're chasing the game, you'd go and get one of those spare balls. You're not, so I think they'll all leave it for Fraser Blake Tracy. There is going to be that change for Jairo Riedewald to come on. Let's see who Chris Wilder is. It's going to be his captain for the day, Ollie Arblaster. He's looking round for somebody to give the armband to. He's going to give it to Ben Mee. And Stephen McLaughlin now emerges from the Stags dugout. He's going to come on. Extra defensive body, John.
Yeah, it is, and it'll be for Will Evans, who's naturally attacking minded, and I think Evans has sort of lacked that quality in those passes forward to Adebayo and to Oates when he was on. So we know for a fact McLaughlin won't go wrong in that area.
Throw in then to Mansfield Town. Fraser Blake Tracy heads it on into the Sheffield United half, and Adebayo was being held, so that's a free kick to Stags. Did well there. Yeah,
he did really well. He's certainly strong and put himself about. Might not be as electrifying in pace compared to Oates, but he can shift, and he showed that earlier when he was running down the right hand channel.
There's another one that's been out of the game for a while, just desperate to get a chance for some first team football. He will have been very much sold on the project by Nigel Clough. Free kick to Stags. Lewis Reed to take. Already had a momentous day. Reed takes this free kick up to the edge of the box. Headed up in the air by John Russell. Sheffield United get it away to Oshilaja. Just scoops it up into the air without any accuracy or definition on it, really. Just stroked it forward, and so the side in red and white can turn it back to their goalkeeper. And Adebayo does well there to just stop the back line, just knocking it around between them. Turn back to the goalkeeper. That's the Sheffield United fans urging them to get forward. They can see the clock ticking. We're just coming up to 85 minutes. Here's Jairo Riedewald, another one who's come from the relative warmth of the dugout to go out there in the middle with the gloves on. Now Tom Davis driving forward. Davis driving a hole through that inside left channel, across from Burrows. It's deep and over Andre Brooks, the far post, and away to safety. Well, not to safety by Cargill. I thought he'd found touch. Sariki keeps it in, and Sariki comes forward. Crossfield ball again to Harmer. Burrows, his cross is charged down or deflected up in the air, really, is a better definition by Russell. Riedewald picks it up. Has it once more, and Sariki takes it away from Stephen McLaughlin. Just settled in on the left hand side, just sort of alongside Blake Tracy. A ball trying to pick out Bamford, and Cargill heads it down, and Lewis Reed puts it into touch.
Yeah, good defending there by Reed. No nonsense. You just have to recognise sometimes when you've got to clear it.
There's Riedewald. Crossfield ball just outside the D. Sheffield United have it into the penalty area, and it'll break now, and there's a really good couple of blocks there from Brian Sweeney to deflect it away for another corner to Sheffield United as the clock hits 86 minutes, corner left side.
Yeah, that block needed to happen, or it would have been a certain goal for Sheffield United.
Everybody back as you'd expect for Mansfield Town. Nobody on the post. Blades have got everybody up there. Referees again called a halt to things. Gavin Ward spotted the usual pushing and shoving. Stags need to really avert this threat and just try and get the ball downfield and spend a little bit of time in the Sheffield United half. Corner Sheffield United, they trail 4-3. In comes the corner. Roberts claims. Really good catch from him, although admittedly not really under too much pressure, but I guess when it's hit as high as that, there was plenty of loft on it. It's very difficult to get up there and challenge the goalkeeper without fouling him.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think on the Bamford goal, Roberts really, being critical, could have done better because it was in the air for a very long time.
There's Adebayo, fed the ball by John Russell, and tries to run over towards the far side, towards the corner, and he's doing well here, Victor Adebayo. Does well, turns it back to Lucas Akins, who scored one of the goals, and then Russell gets it back from Adebayo, and then Lewis. Nice between those recent arrivals. Tom Davis down in the middle of the park. It's not Davis. Just confirm who it is as Lucas Akins loses possession, and Sheffield United will come forward over on that far side with Tom Davis, and then the referee pulls it all back for a Sheffield United free kick. Might be Ben Mee down on the ground, is it? Well, Aaron Lewis has been shown a yellow card. I think Stags will take that at this stage of the game. It's on the halfway line on the far side. It was Ben Mee who was down.
Yeah, strange refereeing, to be honest, because he should have just let Sheffield United play on. The Tom Davis has broke through with the ball and he's pulled it back.
I don't know what Aaron Lewis has done there. Aaron Lewis was pleading his innocence, and the replay they showed, Lewis wasn't involved. Oh, and now a yellow card for Oshilaja. Just wonder if
he might have cancelled.
Yeah, I just wonder if somebody sort of said it wasn't him, it was him. Maybe the fourth official or one of the assistants has helped him out. But certainly Aaron Lewis didn't commit a foul. Ben Mee's down on the ground, and the important thing with this, John, is they've used 5 subs.
Ah, okay. So yeah, that'll be a pleasing thing for Mansfield. I don't think it'll change the way Sheffield United play, to be honest. I think they'll still have the majority of the ball, but regardless, somebody else is going to have to slot back into that defensive position, and it will be someone who's not naturally a defender. So yeah, it can only be a positive to Mansfield. We obviously don't wish injury on anyone, but regards the shape and the direction of the game, it's not going to be a negative thing for Mansfield at all.
And this might backfire as soon as I say it, but I think this little minute or two out of the game here just gives Ryan Sweeney on the pitch and Andy Garner and Nigel Clough off the pitch the chance just to get that word across there, just to sort them out once more. The last push.
Hopefully, last time you were getting excited, you were talking about the draw for the next round.
Look at the clock. The clock says 89 minutes, 30 seconds. I know it's all going to be added on in the end as the rain comes back again. The Accrington rain has followed us to Bramall Lane. This is nothing. This is a summer's day compared to what it was at Accrington. I have never seen it rain so hard for so long as it did that day, and Stags emerged triumphant. They'll demand rain in the next round if they get through. A reminder, they're next in action on BBC Radio Nottingham next Saturday, 6 days away, at home to Port Vale, currently the bottom side in the league. Lost 2-1 at Vale Park in the early part of the season. Ryan Sweeney sent off. There'll be 6 minutes of time added on. That could have been worse.
I thought there'd be more, to be honest. I think Ben Mee's injury was a blood injury, so he will be back on with a change of shirt and a bandaged up. So yeah, tough 6 minutes, but you take it in 30-second blocks, get through the next 30-second, and then there's not many of them to go.
We've restarted. Sheffield United momentarily down to 10 men. Mee's just changing his shirt. They've found him another number 15, an unblooded one. Ball on the near side, won by Bailey Cargill, and eventually it goes out. It just trickled over the line. Davis had to wait for it. Takes the throw. Back to Riedewald. We will find Femi Siriki on the near side, whose ball in is helped on up into the air, and Liam Roberts gets it, and then under no pressure, with nobody near him, does the modern fad of throwing himself to the ground. But I presume then he was reminded by the referee that the clock had started. Long ball downfield, headed back to his goalkeeper by Mee, who's come on, and Terry Butcher-like, Paul Ince-like, he's got a bit of a bandage on his wound. Ball in the centre circle. We've already had 1 minute 15 of the 6 to be added on. And Stags of League One lead Championship Sheffield United by 4 goals to 3 in one of the ties of the round, which may yet have quite some distance to go if Sheffield United can breach the Stags goal for a 4th time on the afternoon. Femi Siriki, one of 5 subs used. Here's another one, Andre Brooks. Back to Ben Mee, former Burnley player, wealth of Premier League experience. Riedewald, Brooks, Up to the edge of the area, ball in behind, and there it's turned towards goal, and Liam Roberts took no chance. I think it was probably going into the side netting, but Roberts at his near post made sure, parried it away to the comparative safety of a corner kick.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. If you're not sure, then save it, and that's exactly what he's done. I agree with you, though, it probably was just hitting the other side of the net.
You'd have felt an absolute plum, though, had it crept in, wouldn't you? Corner. Gustavo Hamer will take it. 3 minutes 45 left, and it comes. Lucas Akins, who scored Stag's third goal soon after half-time, clears. It's come out to Sariki. He'll work it way back to this right-hand side to Hamer. Hamer back to Andre Brooks on his left. He's already put a cross in for one of the goals, the own goal. This one's cleared out to Davis, and then Burrows, and his cross is again charged down by Lewis Reed. Remember him, what a part he's had to play in where we are now. Stags leading 4-3. He scored 2 screamers in the first half. 93 minutes gone. Corner taken. It's deep, headed down and wide of the target by Mark McGuinness, the central defender.
Great defending there by Sweeney. He didn't win the header, but he put enough pressure on McGuinness so that even if McGuinness did win it, it'd just be a really, really little header like it was there.
So goal kick to Mansfield Town. The Stags fans, they believe. They've believed all afternoon, in truth. I think they might be another player being readied down on the Stags bench, but for the time being, Roberts takes the kick downfield. Adebayo beaten, but he's giving the Sheffield United backliner run for their money. Chases after this one with Sariki, and he's won the ball by the corner flag. This is good from Victor Adebayo. Been impressed with what he's done so far, and he wins a throw right by the Sheffield United corner flag.
Yeah, he's done exactly what he's needed to do. He's not really been a goal threat as such, but can he hold it up? Can he put defenders under pressure? Can he win valuable seconds for Mansfield? He's answered yes to all of those.
These are the Stags fans you can hear. Hopefully you can hear on RFX mic. BBC Radio Nottingham bringing you Mansfield Town in the third round. They only got to the fourth round once in the last 37 years. They were beaten by Middlesbrough at home. Was that in your time?
Yes, it was. One of my first,
I don't mean the defeat, I meant that period.
One of my first games back from a long injury, actually.
Corner to Stags. Really done nicely. I wouldn't imagine this. We've got 2 balls on the pitch. I wouldn't imagine this corner is going to come in the box. And if you have a look and said you just showed a still photograph of the penalty area and said this is a corner, you wouldn't believe it, because there's nobody in there from Mansfield Town. They're going to take it short. McLaughlin to Adebayo, holds his man off, gives it back to McLaughlin, back to Adebayo, back to McLaughlin. They did well between them. Can Fraser Blake Tracy get on the end of it when eventually it is played infield? He can't. And now the clock says 95 minutes, 1 to go at Bramall Lane, and Mansfield Town can sniff that fourth round. Stephen McLaughlin deep in his own final third. They've had to really dig deep over the last 25 minutes or so. There's Ben Mee. He's got it. The home fans desperate for that ball to be played forward. It's just dinked forward. Bailey Cargill challenges for it, can't get it. Headed away by Oshilaja. Lewis Reed with a touch, and now into the area comes Sheffield United. Lucas Akins with a touch. Riedewald throws himself to the ground dramatically, wins nothing more than a throw. 58, 59, 96 minutes on the clock, and Stags have it and play it downfield. Blake Tracy says, why didn't you find it? There's the final whistle! Mansfield Town have won, and for the first time since 1970 they have knocked out a top 2-tier side in the FA Cup competition. It was 2 goals from Di Jones at Blackpool back in 1970. Today it's 2 goals from Lewis Reed, 1 from Lucas Akins and 1 from Rhys Oates, and Nigel Clough says, remember me, I used to manage here, and now I've come back and ended your cup dreams with the mighty Stags running out winners in an absolute thriller. Stags take it, and they're in the fourth round draw after the most pulsating afternoon at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic by Mansfield. They had a 20-25 minute spell in the second half where they looked a bit out of shape and under pressure, but apart from that, it's been a disciplined, hard-working, effective performance. And in Rhys Oates, they've had the standout player. He's been absolutely fantastic today. He's worried them from the very first minute till he got brought off, and he's been absolutely amazing, and he's rounded it off with goals and an assist.
The defence, you have to say, with the time added on, Stags had to defend for half an hour there against some real pressure. Sheffield United throwing everything at them. Patrick Bamford got a goal. He always looked a threat. But Sweeney, Oshilaja and Cargill as a back three, Roberts behind them, and everybody else mucking in to do the job. Thoroughly deserve those spoils. And look at Nigel.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I know we were saying in the before the game, we were saying, can Sheffield United afford to drop 10 players and play at the same intensity? And the answer's certainly been no. They were better when they brought on the subs, but just goes to show, don't take this competition too lightly. Don't use it as a sort of reserve game to give people opportunities to play. They've just not been good enough as the regular starters, but please do not take any credit away from Mansfield Town for that, because conversely they've been fantastic.
Disrespect the FA Cup and it'll come back to bite you on the bum. That's Lewis Reed leading the fist pumps, and Stags are in the draw.
Man City away, that's who we want.
Well, I don't know. I mean, remember, for this round, they were the last ball to be drawn out. There were 4 balls left in that bag, and Manchester United will play Brighton and Hove Albion. And I think everybody thought, Martin Shaw, the club statistician, I think he says that there's only Manchester United and Bromley of the current 92 that Stags have never played right the way across their years. Here's Liam Roberts now, and he loves a fist pump. He's been beaten 3 times today, Roberts, but he's celebrating this as if it's, well, just another day at the office, just another Liam Roberts clean sheet. He was actually beaten by one of his own players today as well, Nathan Moreau-Welsh, and luckily turning one in. Lovely penetrative cross from Andre Brooks that really did need some defending. But Stags have been brilliant. They really have been brilliant. They've won 4 in a row. 2026 has started like 2025 ended. They're on a high. They really are on a high. Brilliant. The 3 new players, I think, will all feel they've come into a club that's going places, and it's somewhere that they can help fulfil their own careers. Terrific stuff from Mansfield Town, and just listen to those fans.
Yeah, brilliant. And you can't take away Nigel Clough's influence on the game. Tactically, we saw in the first half that Hamer was causing problems, so we made a tactical shift. He put Akins on him, and in the second half he didn't really have a kick. He just makes adjustments, makes little tweaks in the team to the benefit of everyone, really. So fantastic performance by all.
Yeah, just for a while I was I remembered, I think, something along the lines of 4-1 when Rhys Oates scored. That's it, Stags are in the 4th round, and I thought those words are going to come back to haunt me. Roberts is still having his own little private one-man party with 4,700 Stags fans there. He's leading the scarf waving. He's very, very happy indeed. They've been terrific. They opened the scoring through Lewis Reed as a corner was partially cleared to him. Nobody on him, outside the box. An absolutely glorious strike that brushed the gloves of the goalkeeper into the top corner. A similar sort of goal at the other end brought Sheffield United level. That was 7 minutes later on 20 from Gustavo Harmer. And then Reed did it again in the last minute of the first half. Very, very similar goal. 3 absolutely superb goals gave Stags a 2-1 lead at half time. Early in the second half, Rhys Oates got away down the right. You're not catching me. Away he went. He was like the hare there ahead of the Greyhounds, needed a good cutback, picked up Lucas Akins in his stride, and first time he stroked it in 3-1, and then Oates himself got one soon afterwards to make it 4-1. It looked dead and buried. On came the big boys for the Championship side. Patrick Bamford prodded home a corner that fell obligingly to him 2 yards from goal to make it 4-2. Andre Brooks 3 minutes later, that challenging cross to the far post that neither Oshilaja nor Mariah Welsh could clear, and it went in off the underside of the crossbar off Mariah Welsh. 4-3. That was on 65 minutes. You had 25 minutes left in the game and 6 minutes of added on time, but they got there and they deservedly run out winners, John.
Yeah, deserved winners. Fantastic performance by everybody. Amazing. And then let's just see who we get in the next round, but everybody's going home happy tonight in amber and blue.
They are. We're not going home for a while. We'll bring you all the reaction we can on match day from BBC Radio Nottingham. That's one that we'll remember for a while. Stags are the winners. David Jackson, what a day to be here. This is better than North Wales, isn't it?
Something like that, yes, for a great many reasons. Nigel Clough just heading down the tunnel now, having applauded the Mansfield directors who are just above the tunnel, who are cheering and waving to the players as they make their way down the tunnel. I think that's John Radford and his wife Carolyn, we can see enthusiastically waving their approval to what they've seen. A terrific victory. What great entertainment that was. We'll pick the bones out of it with John Delaye between now and 5. We'll get reaction as soon as we can as well. Just to run you through the other scores today, this absolutely the big news of the day nationally, because Leeds avoided a shock. They won 3-1 at Derby earlier. Arsenal as well, despite going a goal down after 3 minutes at Portsmouth through Colby Bishop, then won 4-1, including a hat-trick for Gabriel Martinelli. Hull Blackburn is into extra time, 0-0 at the end of the 90. Norwich have thrashed Walsall by 5 goals to 1. Javon Makama with a hat-trick for the Canaries. Swansea West Brom is into extra time after finishing 1-1, and West Ham QPR is heading to extra time. It's 1-1 there at the moment. Kone equalising after Crescencio Somerville put West Ham ahead 10 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half. They're still going into stoppage time at the end of the second now, but 1-1, and Manchester United Brighton at 4:30. Right, reaction to come between now and 5 on match day from BBC Radio Nottingham on a terrific day for Mansfield Town. It's 4:30.
So who am I?
Matthew Ellis. You're on your own and you've money to burn.
New series of The Night Manager.
If I get you in, I'm done. It's just you and me.
Starring Tom Hiddleston.
Deception is in our DNA.
You played me. Get to the airport now.
I have to get to him before he gets to me.
The Night Manager.
Make the call.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Match day.
BBC Radio Nottingham.
Terrific day here at Bramall Lane for Mansfield Town. Many of those supporters still yet to make their way out of Bramall Lane. Those 4,700 Mansfield fans, what a day they've had. They are still in there looking out on the pitch, wondering what on earth they've just witnessed. John Delaye on commentary for BBC Radio Nottingham. There was a moment in the second half, John, which really made me chuckle, because Mansfield missed an opportunity to get a ball into the box, I think, to have another chance. And you said there was a good chance there and then you took a second and went 5-3, as if you had to sort of take a moment to realise what the score was, because you can hang on a minute. Why are we talking about them going 5-3 up at Sheffield United?
It was crazy. I was looking for the scoreboard just seeing where it was.
Don't believe yourself, do you?
No, but it's been a fantastic game. Obviously, the final outcome in terms of Mansfield winning has been the main plus, but for the game itself, it's a great advert for the FA Cup, for football in this country. It's been brilliant. I'm sure Sheffield United will be disappointed, but they've come up against a confident side today who, yes, they didn't have as much possession, but they were so effective in what they were trying to do. Possession doesn't always win you games, and it's been a prime example of that today.
You mentioned about Rhys Oates and the threat that he has, big and strong, and he's got some pace, and I mean a sublime finish as well that we'll get to a little bit later, but just a bit of a nuisance up front, and it was like they didn't really realise what was coming with him, because quite early even in that first half you thought he's going to cause you all kinds of problems.
He is. We spoke about the physicality when we were talking about Russell and Adebayo, but when it comes to pace, there's not much you can do. If you are quicker than your man and there's space in behind, just get the ball past him and run. And Oates was up against Ben Mee, an experienced Premiership defender who's